Hello, thanks for visiting my channel. Let's make 3 pink Barbie core-inspired treats for your Barbie movie watch party. These 3 recipes will be made 2 different ways. One could be considered a quick version. Let's get started with the copycat Starbucks pink drink. On the screen, you'll see the ingredients. I will also list them below the video as well as the actual recipes and where I got them. I steeped the tea bag for a couple of minutes. It doesn't take long. I also just used room temp water. It was not hot water, which is totally fine. The coconut milk that you see with the other ingredients did not work as well as the one in the yellow can on the screen. I did use the yellow can for the second recipe and it produced a much better final product. So if given a choice, choose the full fat unsweetened coconut milk. I think the one in the carton is like a light version. Did not work out well. While we watch, I'd like to share that I'm looking forward to watching the Barbie movie at home. I love movies, but prefer to watch them at home. That way I can pause it to get a snack, use the bathroom, ask my family questions, which they love. Not. I don't know if you'll be able to tell by the video, but the drink did not mix very well. I'm sure it's due to the light coconut milk. You'll see when I finish the second drink, I actually used a hand mixer because I thought maybe it didn't mix fast enough with a spoon to get it good and blended, but it really didn't need that. I noticed it would have mixed much better without blending, but I did it anyways. In full disclosure, I have not ever had a Starbucks pink drink, but if it tastes anything like the second version, I love it. Here is the second version. The only difference was that I used a pre-made Hibiscus Passion tea instead of steeping the tea myself, and of course I used the really tasty coconut milk, and I drank the whole glass of this version. It was delicious. Let's move on to the mac and cheese. I don't really have a recipe to cite for this, it's just the way we make mac and cheese at home, but I'll still list everything below. Here are the ingredients. Please make sure you get canned beets and not pickled beets. It would make the final product too sweet and salty. I just got 1 small can and cut the beets up afterwards and added them to salads. I also know many people don't really like Velveeta, but I haven't found another way to make good mac and cheese that isn't gritty without it. So I went ahead and boiled the pasta first, that's what you're seeing here, according to the package directions, and set it aside while I was making the sauce. Start with a roux, equal parts fat, and in this case, butter and flour. Then when that is starting to brown and smells nutty, add the milk, at which point you're making a bechamel sauce. When that starts to thicken, you will start slowly adding the cheese a little bit at a time, letting the previous addition melt before adding more. I have sped this up quite a bit, so for a better step-by-step instructions, see below. After the cheese and all the spices that you choose are in, taste it to see if it needs more cheese. The measurements for cheese are just a suggestion. Sometimes I let the cheese speak to me and tell me when there's enough. So this could need a little bit more. Just taste it and see if it's calling out for more extra cheese. Also, just as a side note, the beet juice did not change the flavor at all. Even my husband, who can be very picky and was not sold on pink mac and cheese, said it was good. Once it's perfect, you can add it to the pasta. For this recipe, I did not bake it after I put it together, but you can if you'd like. Just put it in a buttered casserole dish, add some bread crumbs or cornflake crumbs are my personal favorite, mixed with butter. For this recipe, I would probably do a 1/2 to a 3/4 of a cup of crumbs to a 1/4 to a 1/3 cup of melted butter. Sprinkle on top of mac and cheese and bake at 350 until golden brown and bubbly, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. While we're watching me make the sauce, what are your top 5 favorite movies? Feel free to share in the comments below. Mine are Harry Potter. No, I don't really want to just pick one. I love them all, but I guess if you were to force me to pick one, I'd say Sorcerer's Stone, because they're all so cute and it's much more lighthearted than the other later movies for a good reason. The Godfather, the first one of course, although if you've ever managed to see the Godfather Epic, which is the first and second movies cut together chronologically, that is my favorite way to watch it. I really love that, even though it's like 7 hours long, so you gotta plan ahead. Alien would probably be my next favorite. The original, the first one, of course, although they all have good merit. Let's see, Jackie Brown, which is my favorite Tarantino film. And then movie number 5 switches around sometimes. It could be Caddyshack one week, it could be Couples Retreat the next, Disney's Moana the following week, who knows? For the Kraft mac and cheese option, I started with a 1/4 cup of beet juice, but added a touch more at the end just to go for color here. The sauce might look a bit thin, but put a lid on it and let it sit for a few minutes and the pasta should soak up all the liquid, no problem. After I finished this one, I thought maybe one of those packages of mac and cheese with the cheese goo might actually work, and just maybe add a little beet juice to that. I didn't actually try that myself, but I think it would work. Pretty quick, you'll see I had a little mishap. I accidentally flicked the spatula out of the pot while I was stirring it. You'll see there's a flick of mac and cheese there right on the counter. It's moving pretty fast, so it's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, oops. For the prickly pear cactus margarita, I found my syrup at Total Wine, but I'm sure you can buy it elsewhere. It makes the drink such a pretty pink color. I forgot to buy sweet and sour mix, so I had to make some myself, but it's super easy. And I like the freshness of it versus what you would buy at the store that has a lot of preservatives and whatnot in it. Plus, you can make it out of Truvia or Splenda or some other artificial sweetener if you wanted to. This marg is delicious. As you can see on the screen, I put a little bit of information on how to make your own sweet and sour. I'll add some more information down in the comments. But you start with a simple syrup, which is equal parts sugar, equal parts water. The sugar is dissolved. Then you can add equal parts of lemon and lime juice. I didn't do like 1 cup of lemon, 1 cup of lime. It's not equal parts of the simple syrup ingredients. It's like, but the lemon and lime need to be equal parts. So like a half a cup of lemon juice, half a cup of lime juice. You can kick it up a notch and do a cup of everything, and it would be probably pretty tart, but it would be tasty. Give it a whirl.